Well, ever since gas has gone through the roof, I've been looking for an electric bike to help ease the pain. All the bikes I like are well over $1,000, so I've been looking for a good used one. Garage sales, pawn shops. At this pawn shop, I stopped and talked to Mike. I love this place. They're all so nice there. Well, Mike had a bike there for $175. At first glance, it was apparent why it was so cheap. The battery was taped on with electrical tape and there was no chain. Now there were some pluses too. It had a high-end Shimano shifter, as well as a high-end brake sleeve assembly. It came with a horn, lights, and a motorcycle grip throttle. I liked that. On the front, it had a nice set of forks and a headlight. Well, it was time to see if it lived up to its name. It was time to throw the switch and see if there was a spark. I was crossing my fingers. After flipping the switch, I noticed it had a full charge. I rode the bike for about a minute. We settled on $150. I loaded the bike up and headed home. In the back of my mind, I was thinking the battery was probably bad, so I was thinking about what I was going to replace it with. But I need to road test this bike just on the outside chance that the battery's good and it can last more than a block or two. But to do that, I've got to put a chain on it. I let the battery charge overnight while I work on the bike. Before I put the chain on, I go through all the gear mechanisms just to make sure everything is operating properly. As well as the brakes and the lights. I then clean the bike top to bottom, and then I polish it with motorcycle polish. Well, I'm finally ready for the road test. I load the bike up and I head to Pyramid Canyon Recreation Area. That's here in Laughlin, Nevada. Great place to test the bike here. Lots of hills. To add a little stability to the battery, I added a couple of Velcro strips. I also hung a supply bag underneath the seat. I'm ready to go. Well, for the first 15 minutes, I ride around in the park to get used to the shifting and to make sure everything's working properly before I tackle the big hill to the top of the dam. Now, this is a really steep hill and a great test for the bike. Normally on my folding bike, this is where I'd be getting off and I'd have to walk the rest of the way. Well, it looks like I won't be walking today. I've made it up to the top of the hill and, well, that's a good sign, but I don't want to get too optimistic here. I've only gone a couple of miles. Having made the climb up the steep hill, I still have a full charge, so I feel like I can relax and enjoy the ride. At least for a little while. That's the Colorado River there to the right. To my left, that's Lake Mojave. I gotta tell you, I'm really happy with the gears. The Shimano shifter is working wonderfully. It's really smooth and responds quickly. I lubricated the chain and the sprockets with White Lightning. That's an excellent lube. It doesn't attract dirt or dust. I stopped to take in the view, and I also check our battery level. We have a full charge, so we're going to keep on going. Well, I've been riding for about 45 minutes, give or take. And to test the battery, I have not been using the pedal assist. Before heading back, I decide to ride down to the water's edge. It was right when I got to the bottom of the hill here is when that green light disappeared. To conserve what battery power I have left, I start pedaling. I'm about 3 miles away from the car, and I'm hoping I make it back. Well, it's all downhill from here. The parking lot's right at the bottom of the hill. This has been a very successful trip. And this bike, the way I found it, has proven itself more than capable of running errands within 10 miles of my house. This bike's going to save me hundreds of dollars in gas. But the only thing I need to buy for this bike is a battery cover. I'd like to thank the guys out at Pond Plus out there in Fort Mojave. Stop in and see them. They got about anything you could want out there, and they're just super nice people out there. Well, I'm going to go home now, put my kickstand down, pop a cold iced tea, and count my blessings. Be blessed.
Talking travel dog.